it feels like such an overused kind of adjective. We need to see a strong female character. What does that
What's that even mean? Welcome to Josh Smith's Great Chat Show. If you're new here, make sure you like, subscribe, or follow so you never miss a chat. And today I'm joined by the incredible actress Angourie Rice. You might already know her from 3 Spiderman movies, from the Mean Girl musical movie, Mare of Easttown, and now she's starring in my favorite movie of the year, Finding Emily. The rom-com is back, babe, and she is bringing the great chat today as we talk about everything from body image to the importance of speaking to your friends and also women's safety. So, all right then, fancy a chat? Babes,
Hi.
welcome.
Thanks so much for having me.
This is like our first proper in real life
Real
date
life.
because we met on Zoom.
Yes.
Yeah.
5 years ago.
5 years ago.
5 years ago.
When you were in Mare of Easttown.
Yes.
With Kate Winslet. And now we're here, babes.
And now we're here.
Making it happen.
I know. I'm so excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Well, we get stuck straight in on this show.
I'm aware. I love it though.
We love a DMC, babe, don't we?
I really do love it.
So I want to know, what is the greatest chat you've had that's had the biggest impact on you?
This is such a great question. When I think about like meaningful chats, there are always like chats that you have like with people who you really admire that happen kind of once in a lifetime. But I also think some of my most meaningful chats have come from friends and family members. You know, people who you know so well, but you're kind of always surprised that you can go deeper with your relationship or your thoughts and understanding of each other. So I've had some really great meaningful chats with my mum, especially because she chaperoned me for, 6 or 7 years while I was working as a child. And we've had a lot of meaningful chats specifically around work and creativity that really feel very memorable to me. Yeah.
What stuck out to you from those conversations?
I think with my mum, like teaching me that creativity is enough in itself, and like wanting to make art and making art is enough, and it shouldn't rely on the external validation of others, that it has to be enough for you to just make something and love it and be happy with it and be okay with it. I also remember a lot like her telling me that I can't do everything. That was something I struggled with a lot as a kid. I like wanted to like do really well in school. I wanted to like, get every single audition that I auditioned for, and it just was impossible. And I couldn't do it all. And I remember her telling me that, you have to find self-worth in doing as much as you can for yourself.
It's so true, because I think in these creative industries that we're both in, there's so much rejection, there's so many no's, there's so many knockbacks. And if you're not doing it for the love of it, and you're doing it for the success, you're always going to fail in a way, right?
Yes. It's just going to feel so hollow. And you can't control any of it. The only thing you can control is your love for it. And sometimes it's really hard to feel like you want to keep going, But especially when I was younger and when I felt like school was such a huge part of my life, going to high school, and I would go away and work and miss out on things. And I would always ask myself, is it worth it? Is it worth like feeling this disappointment? Are the lows so hard that like I don't want to do it anymore? And the answer was always no, it is worth it. Like, it hurts, but like when it's good and when it's fun, it's the best.
Yeah. And I mean, you've been working since you were 6 years old when you were doing commercials.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, did you just come out of the womb being like, I'm ready to perform, babes. Let's
Here
go.
I am. Yeah. No.
Yeah, correct.
I think I grew up in a very like creative family, and my parents, they both work in theatre. So growing up, I was always like hanging out backstage, going to theatre performances. And my parents worked in the theatre because they loved it. So I had that example growing up. But they also really encouraged me and my sister to just perform and create for fun, which I loved, I was always putting on, like so many kids, dance shows, like wrangling my sister to like be in my little play that I'd made up, and obviously I had the starring role and she was, you know, also there.
You were like, you are my supporting actress, just so you're aware.
I was such a tyrant. Like we choreographed a dance together called the Happy Dance that we would do when we were happy, and I let her have one move in the whole dance. I choreographed the whole thing and I said, you can have one move, and she put in her one move that she loved. And of course I made fun of it the whole time. And every time we did the dance, I was like, I love it except for this like one move that Calliope put in.
Key question.
Yeah.
What is some choreo from the Happy Dance?
It involved a lot of like standing like with our arms crossed like back to back.
Mm-hmm.
We needed space for this happy dance.
Wow.
There was also a floor work section.
What? And you performed this like in the living room?
Yeah.
On like a casual Wednesday?
Yes.
Yeah.
In
Love
our
that for you,
pajamas.
babe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it must have also been interesting for you going through the industry as a child and trying to find your voice too. Because I had a conversation with Chloe Grace Moretz about this, where she was saying how difficult it was for her to find her voice in a world of adults. How hard was that for you?
It's a very interesting situation to be in, growing up to be... You're still a child and there are measures to protect the child actor. So I felt very protected, but there is still the responsibility of having a grown-up job. And even though they make it really fun, and I always had fun, there is that understanding of everybody here, including me, is getting paid to create something, and there is a responsibility in doing that. And I can't just say, oh, I don't want to do this because I don't want to. Maybe that's changing in some ways, but I felt that pressure through no fault of anyone. That's just kind of the environment. I was also definitely a people pleaser as a kid, and I really wanted to do the right thing and be liked by everyone. I think it was hard for me to know my own limits and to learn how to kind of stand up for myself, and also to take the pressure off. But that level of responsibility, like no matter which way you look at it, is still kind of there.
Yeah. And there must be a weird reverse ageism as well, right?
Well, it's strange because I learnt on the job. I didn't train. And I think for a lot of child actors, that's what it is. You learn on the job. And people were so kind and teaching me things. But it was also strange then going back to school and feeling like, you know, I have this like these adult responsibilities, but I'm also a kid who has to like go to school and be told what to do. And then growing up also, you know, I did find like people didn't maybe expect me to know as much stuff that I did because they didn't know that I had been working for such a long time. There's maybe an element of surprise there.
Yeah, because you've basically been working for like almost 20 years, right?
Yeah.
So there's like 2 decades of work, babe.
I guess so, yeah.
That's intense.
It's a long time.
Yeah.
I've been acting for longer than I haven't. Way longer.
Way longer.
It's like the thing
It's in the bones.
I know how to do. It is in my bones.
But you've also got to work with some incredible women. I mean, the list of people you work with is insane. Like Kate Winslet, Nicole Kidman, Jennifer Garner, and now Minnie Driver, actually.
Yes.
In Finding Emily.
Yes.
Love her.
Amazing.
How empowering has it been for you to learn from those incredible women?
I mean, so empowering and such an amazing experience and opportunity. What has been so amazing about working with some of those women, a lot of them started working really young, like young teenagers. I remember Kate telling me she was 15 or 16 when she did Heavenly Creatures. And something I really appreciate is I really have felt like all of those women have like approached me and sort of like working with younger actors, really remembering what that was like. And there's a real sense of understanding there, which has meant a lot to me.
Is there a lesson you learned from one of them that's really stuck with you?
I remember Kate Winslet talking about filming Sense and Sensibility. I remember her saying that she was terrified. And that was so... Maybe it sounds naive, but to me that was surprising. I was like, what do you mean? Like, you're an incredible actor. Like, your performance in that movie is stunning. Like, how can such a like solid, self-assured, like brilliant performance come from someone who said that they were terrified? And that was kind of nice to hear in a way.
That everyone deals with that imposter syndrome at some
Yeah.
point. I always think that nerves are so good because they show you still care.
Yes.
And that's such an important thing to not let go of.
Yes.
And not let them consume you, but use them as fuel as well. That's the balancing act you need to get right.
Yes, absolutely. What's that saying that's like anxiety is just like misplaced excitement or something?
It's true.
And it's a practice to really like
Yeah.
enact that in your body and try and feel it.
And you've come into the industry in a really changing time as well. We've come so far with gender parity and
Yeah.
gender equality in Hollywood, in the entertainment industry, but we've got so much further to go.
Yeah.
Especially with getting women behind the scenes,
Yeah.
behind the camera, creating projects they want to create. And also, I was reading a stat that statistically, women still earn $1 million less per movie than men. So we've got work to do out there.
Yeah.
What frustrates you about the sexism you still have to deal with and face?
A place where it feels quite glaring to me, it often starts with reading scripts or reading emails and sort of character breakdowns. I think you learn a lot about a creative team, where they're coming from with the female character if you read the kind of character breakdown. And often with female characters, it will be like, she's beautiful, but she like doesn't know it. That's not a personality.
That's not our entire personality.
That's not a personality. Yeah, that really kind of turns me off. Also, I think it's a red flag if there's only one female character in the script. And I see that surprisingly, not often, but more often than I would like. Often enough where I think, why have you only written one female character in this? It feels strange. Why doesn't she have any friends? It does start with the scripts, you know, and the understanding of great female characters. I don't think it's enough for a female character to be strong. It feels like such an overused kind of adjective. We need to see a strong female character. What does that
What's that even mean?
But I do see it in the scripts sometimes, and that makes me sad. But there are also lots of great scripts out there with great female characters, so that's good.
When have you been proudest of advocating for yourself, would you say?
Oh, I think it happens a lot for me in costume fittings. I think clothes are so personal. And you really, with building a character, for me, a lot of it comes through in the costumes. And you have to serve the character, but also, for me at least, with clothes and body image, it's a really, like, it can be very emotional and a very, like, personal thing. And it's really hard to say, I don't want to wear that because of this thing that I'm insecure about, or because I don't think it's right for the character, or because I know I'm going to have to run through the streets for 40 pages of the screenplay and I don't want to be wearing those shoes. It's really hard, I think, for me to advocate for myself in those spaces, but I've really had to learn how to do that. Especially when it comes to like the relationship between costumes and body image, because it's very vulnerable to like share that with someone. Yeah.
Also, that must be hard because when you are growing up on sets, and you're still in your 20s, you're still discovering yourself.
Yes.
You're still getting to know your body in different ways, still getting to know yourself in different ways. And growing up at the same time when you're trying to understand other people is challenging because you need to work on your own relationship with yourself first, right?
Yes. I've been through costume fittings from when I was like 8 or 9 through to now. And you become very aware of your body and how it changes. And I guess this has happened with everyone really, with like digital cameras and social media and stuff, that you can look at yourself at 13 or 14. You have access to that in a way that we didn't before. And to know that there's this whole movie where I'm like 13, it's very strange to think that that's out there forever.
Yeah. How have you really looked after your mental well-being? Because that must have been very challenging as well, whilst you're trying to come to terms with yourself, whilst you're also in the public eye as well, and telling come on the sets and being in these huge movies. How have you really learned to look after your mental well-being, or have there been any turning points in that journey for you?
It's definitely an ongoing practice and journey, right? I mean, you find things that work for you and suddenly they don't work anymore, and then you have to change. I think finishing high school was a big turning point for me. I actually had quite a nice time in high school, but once I left that and I was like, okay, now I can figure out who I am in this world and in my career, and I just felt more like myself, I think. I think taking care of mental health in the digital age is like such a minefield. It's such a minefield.
It ain't easy.
I really do feel my absolute like best when I talk to my friends and family, and especially I think growing up in school, talking to friends who are not in the entertainment industry was really good for my mental health. And I still think that is the case. But now I've also found new value in talking to friends who are in the entertainment industry. I think as I've grown up and I've started to work with more people my own age, I have actually found that really beneficial to talk to other young actors and be like, this is how I feel. Like, this is madness. Like, is this okay? And they're like, no, I feel the same way.
What's talking really helped you process in that way?
I always thought I would like really get over the feeling of like rejection. I don't think I have. Maybe I will someday. I also deal a lot with that comparison. It's really comparison. And we all know comparison is the thief of joy. But also a problem shared is a problem halved. Should I talk in phrases like this for the rest of the podcast?
Go for it, babe. We can tick them off. It can be like a checklist.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
How many phrases can you say that are on a towel somewhere?
Exactly.
Or with a
love.
broidered frame.
Yeah. But first, coffee. And also, actually, someone I worked with said this to me once, which I have really taken, which is community over competition. And that's been a key in like letting go of comparison as well. And that, like, talking with friends in the entertainment industry has really helped me let go of comparison. Also because I've found if I genuinely become friends with someone and meet someone and they're lovely, all like anxiety about comparison and envy, it just disappears. Because I do think community is stronger than competition.
Well, we definitely need to get that on a tea towel, babe.
Community over competition. I can't claim that. Auliʻi Cravalho, who I did Mean Girls with, told me that, which I thought was like such a great phrase.
Yeah, because I have a group of friends who all do quite similar things.
Yeah.
And there's sometimes when you feel the envy creeping in because someone will get something that you really wanted, or they'll do something that was on your imaginary checklist.
Yeah.
And you have to really, when I get into those moments, I have to really confront myself and be like, why is this?
Yeah.
And it's because you feel like you haven't achieved enough, but then you have to look at what you've achieved and all the amazing things you've done. And you have to do that in order to turn up and be a cheerleader. Yeah. Because I really pride myself on being a cheerleader.
Yeah.
And I'm like, get those pom-poms out at every single given opportunity, babes. I'll be there. Cheerleader outfit on. But in order to be a real cheerleader, you need to let go of that process as well.
Yes. And do you feel that in the process of being a cheerleader, even if maybe you feel like you can't be in that moment, that the process of it actually like it does the work for you?
Yes, it does. The cheerleader process.
Yes.
We need to write a philosophical book about this. Stunning. Second book idea coming right at me. Now, babes, we need to talk about something that I'm obsessed with.
Oh gosh, what is it?
Can you guess what it is?
I don't know.
Finding Emily. Oh my God, babe. I'm not kidding you when I say I think this is Notting Hill for a new generation.
Oh my gosh, thank you for saying that.
So good. Guys,
Yay.
the rom-com is so back.
So back.
And you are bringing it back, babes. Thanks. So the concept is there's this guy who goes out on a night out and he gets wrong numbered by a girl. Well, there's a missing digit.
There's a missing digit.
And then he teams up with a psychology student, you, to help track her down.
Yes.
Now, there's so many reasons why I love it, but one of the things I love about it the most is it really nails British university culture. Now, as someone who went to a British university and really got into the culture, it was just like such a great nostalgic look back at a period of my life. When you delved into being in British university culture, what really surprised you? What kind of like coming of age moments or niche pastimes really stuck out to you and you're like, oh, this is peculiar?
Something that really stood out to me was that, so when we started filming, school had not started yet. So it was like so quiet. And then there was 1 week of filming where suddenly all these young people came to the city. Obviously, they were all coming back for
And it's in Manchester,
school.
by the way, guys.
In Manchester, yes, in Manchester. So we would be out filming on a Wednesday night at like 11 o'clock, almost ready to go home. And we would see like groups of girls starting their night at 11.
Mm-hmm. I was one of those girls.
I'm sure you were.
Yeah.
And what surprised me, and I wonder if this is your memory too, was that I would be like rugged up like in my duffel coat at like any spare moment. I would be inside like by the heater. These girls were going out in like little skirts and little like shoes and like no jacket.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so surprised. I was like, I'm freezing cold. Are you guys okay? Do you need a jacket? I was like, how are you not freezing right now? Obsessed with the outfits.
Yeah.
Always.
Northern girls are just committed to the outfits and they're not letting a duffel coat come in the way
And
of that.
I love that, but I'm also like, I feel colder looking at you. I'm like, oh my God, are you not freezing? So I guess like the commitment to the outfit minus the jacket, like
Solid.
unparalleled.
Yeah, unparalleled.
I'm so impressed.
Did you have to go on like a big university night out to really get into the culture? Because, babe, we were doing like snake bites, which is like a dodgy. Do you know about that?
No.
That was like a Warwick University thing. It was like this dodgy cider drink that had like a little bit of Ribena in it. And I think we then ended up putting tequila in it on the top.
Sure.
Because why not?
Why not?
Let's have all our weekly alcohol units in one pint.
We did go out a couple of times as a cast. I was pretty strict. Like, if I had work the next day, I was not going out.
Yeah.
I also don't really drink. So I was going out stone cold sober.
Oh, wow.
Staying out till 4 a.m. high
Babe,
on
I'm so
life.
impressed.
Loving it. It was so good. The next day, I wasn't hungover. I was just tired.
Yeah.
It was just perfect.
Did you go to Canal Street?
We went to Canal Street. We filmed on Canal Street, which was pretty epic.
Yeah. The gays in Manchester know a good time.
It was so fun. We were actually there I was there for Pride weekend and I saw the parade go by. It was so fun. I had an amazing time. We did karaoke as well. Here's what karaoke in Manchester taught me. All the Words to Angels by Robbie Williams.
Yeah.
I heard that song 5 or 6 times, like every single night. It was
I'm loving angels instead.
I mean,
and then it's the bit Bruin.
Oh! So epic. And you would always get like bros up on stage, just like swaying.
What song did you get up to do?
I did Dancing in the Dark by Springsteen.
Oh, love that.
That's my go-to. Have you seen the music video for that?
No, I don't think I have actually.
In the music video, he brings up a woman on stage to dance with him at the end. And that woman is Courtney Cox.
Oh,
like
wow.
pre-Friends Courtney Cox. So as is tradition for me, when I perform this song, I bring up one lucky lady on stage to dance with me. So
just from the crowd?
No, a friend.
Oh, right.
Can you imagine? You. You're my Courtney Cox.
You come up here, babe. My one is always Spice Girls, Spice Up Your Life.
Crowd pleaser.
Crowd pleaser, especially in a gay bar, it works so well. Because what I do is when you be like, are there any Spice Boys in the house before you start? And obviously they erupt. Are there any Spice Girls in the house?
Yeah.
And when you're doing the slam it to the left, you've got the left slamming it.
Yes, interactive.
You've got the right shaking to the right. And then they don't realise that I basically cannot sing.
But
so it's distraction tactics.
Doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't.
At karaoke.
Was there any kind of like British phrases or cultural things that you really struggled to get your head around?
One that I struggle, I don't think this is Manchester specific. I think this is everywhere. But the sort of greeting of, you're right.
You're right, babe.
Like, yes, I'm okay. Thank you. I always think like, it takes me a second to realise they're not saying, are you okay?
Yeah.
Are you all right?
You're right.
Like, I'm fine. I know what the response is now.
What's the response, babe?
Yeah, you.
Or.
Do
you not know the other one?
No, what is it?
Yeah, hun, you.
Yeah. Yeah, on you.
Yeah.
I don't have enough confidence for that one yet.
We'll build you up to
Yeah,
it, babe.
we'll
I
build
feel
up
like you
to it.
could. But I feel like also, despite the fact, if you've never been to a British university, you're going to relate to this movie so much because
Yeah.
the journey is so great. And it's all these things that are going on in our society today with struggles with dating, how complex that is. And we can all relate to having a terrible, terrible time in that dating pool, babe, can't we?
No.
Have you had any dating disasters that really stick out to you?
Yeah, when my grade 7 boyfriend didn't invite me to laser tag. No.
That is really shady, though.
I don't think he planned the laser tag. I think he went to laser tag without me, and then I was sad.
Have we had to process that in therapy, babe?
Yeah, I'm like, I just keep thinking about laser tag. I haven't been to laser tag ever since.
I think my fear of rejection is coming from this one moment where my boyfriend in what year was it?
Grade 7.
Grade 7.
So we were like
didn't invite me.
11 or 12.
11 or 12. She was already a working lady then.
I mean, God, it was so funny, silly. Like, you know, we just held hands and that was it. It was like so sweet.
So sweet.
So sweet.
But also one of the things I love about the movie is it really reminds us the power of meeting people in real life.
It does, yeah.
And this is a lost art. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, I met my boyfriend, now fiance.
Yes.
Shout out to me. Look at me go. In real life, at a bar.
Really?
Yes.
Who went up to who?
I went up to him.
Okay.
Oh, it's a really good story. Strap
Yeah.
yourself in. So it was after the BAFTAs. So this is a really like wanky story.
Whoa.
So it was after the BAFTAs. I went to the Netflix after party.
Okay.
And I had the best night ever. I was with my best friend. We were annihilated.
Okay.
And it was, by this point, it was like 4:30 a.m. on a Monday morning by this stage. Like we'd
Wow.
gone into the next day and the party was carrying on. So what do you need at that time? More champagne. So I went to the bar
Obviously.
and he was stood next to me. I didn't even say hi. I didn't even say, what's your name? I just went, you're fit.
Oh my God.
And then basically dragged him into an imaginary dance floor that did not exist.
You make the dance floor.
I make the dance floor wherever I go, babe. As do you.
As do I.
As do you. I was doing the happy dance. Including floor
Love
work.
that. Floor work.
The floor
always.
work came later.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And then that was it. That's how we met. And then actually, this is actually very Finding
Yeah.
Emily coded.
Yeah.
Because I didn't give him my number. I
Oh my
like sashayed
gosh.
off into the night. And he tracked me down on Instagram and sent me a requested message that I saw the next day saying, hope you're not feeling as bad as I do. Question
Oh
mark.
my gosh.
And then here we are.
And here you are. You're getting married.
We're getting married. So it happens. Meeting people in real life really pays off.
Yeah.
Yeah. But do you think we've lost the art of connecting with people in real life?
Yeah, perhaps it is. We're losing it in some ways, but I'm a chatty gal, so
She's a chally gal.
I'm making conversation with people.
Wherever you go.
So I have not lost
Yeah.
that. But you also have to be strategic about it. Sometimes you can't like only make conversation with the person at the end of the flight when you're landing.
Oh, clever.
Because if you get into a conversation at the start of a 4-hour flight, you might be talking for 4 hours to someone you don't really want to talk
You've
to.
learned that the hard way.
No, but I do think it's important to go up to people and say hi. And when people are really receptive and open to that, I think that's really nice. And I think it's important to be open to that. You know, I would love the idea that any person you meet could be your new best friend. You
Yes, I agree with that. You never know who's going to be your next best friend, your next boss, your next lover, whoever it might
Yeah.
be. So go out there and get chatty, babe.
Just be open to that.
One thing I wanted to ask you actually about Finding Emily is, yes, it is really joyful. Yes, it's all about love. But there's also a very strong message to it as well about women's safety, which we should all be talking about more.
Yeah.
Because women's safety is sadly on the decline in our society
Yeah.
today. What do you think we should all be more aware of when it comes to women's safety and to get people really talking about it, especially men?
Yeah. Well, I think that's a really great point that you bring up, that the safety of women, that responsibility should not be on women to kind of create their own safety, because a lot of the time it's out of the control of women. It's definitely a community and a collective effort. And I do think when we're talking about these like all male spaces, I think there is a responsibility on people to speak up maybe when women aren't around, and to, you know, because that's where work happens and also when it's maybe hardest because you're not confronted with a woman saying, I feel unsafe, you know? You have to be thinking about it even when the presence of women's voices isn't there. I think it starts with people standing up to their friends and co-workers and family members and in those small ways as well.
I completely agree. I even had a situation once where I obviously do not see myself as a threat to women whatsoever. Like, I have so many women in my life. And I remember walking home one night and it was quite late. And I was walking really quickly because I was also because I'm very aware of my safety as a queer person as well. So I was walking really quickly and I kind of caught up with this girl and she kind of turned around and she was like, and I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And I realized that like, even if you don't think you are a threat, you've got to like be aware of space and all these other things. It's really important that everyone is aware of that. Every man out there. It's our job to make women feel safe, not the other way around.
Yeah.
So babe, not only are you slaying on screen, you've also a very accomplished author now, babe.
Oh,
not only have you had one book out, Stuck Up and Stupid, you now got My Wonderful Disgrace coming out.
It's so fun. I hope you love it. I wrote both of these books with my mum, and My Wonderful Disgrace is set over one night at a school ball or school dance. It's all told in letters, texts, transcripts, police interviews. Like, it's like very like a collage of like different people's voices. And it's all about all these everyone's expectations for this one big night and the absolute disaster that unfolds. I describe it as like a comedy of errors and like a caper comedy. There's action, there's lots of laughs, a little bit of romance in there, but it's so fun. And it's really about like expectations versus what actually happens and how
the
you
theme
don't.
of the chat, babe.
Yes. And you don't have control over anything except yourself. That's what the book is about, And
it's interesting you're working with your mum because I'm not sure I could ever work with my mum. God bless you, Claire, but I just don't think that's for us. You must have had some quite interesting chats about working together. Was it quite a confronting experience? And did it change your relationship anyway?
It did change our relationship, I think in a really good way. I loved having something with her that was like a relationship beyond mother and daughter, that was actually us coming like as equals, as artists to something. It also revealed how similar we are, I think. She would write something, I'd go, that's so funny. And I'd write something and she'd say, that's so funny. And it's because we have the same sense of humor. But we had great chats about like creating for yourself. Also just talking about like it, when you create something, if it connects with one person, like that's enough, you know?
I agree.
But I have loved working with her. It's so fun. And I'm glad we're able to, because I know not everyone can. So it feels special.
It's very special. And I feel like there's so many things you said today that so many people are going to connect with.
That's nice.
And
thank you for saying that.
This show is all about starting important chats, little chats, the big chats, all the chats.
Yes.
But what is one thing you think we should all be talking about more?
Before I answer it very quickly, I just want to say this is such a great podcast format and I love it so much. And I love how insightful and probing your questions are. I think they are sparking thoughts and discussions with me and also all your listeners. So thank you for that.
Oh, babe, you can come again anytime.
It's true though. It's really, really insightful.
Make sure you leave
thoughtful.
that comment in the comments.
Yeah, 5 stars.
Yeah, 5 stars. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow. Okay.
What should we all be talking about? I think we should be talking about eating more plants, more vegetables, less meat, less dairy. I've been vegan for 4 years. It's a big part of my life. I'm sure in 2026, a lot of people have a vegetarian friend or a vegan friend. And I would say like, ask them about that. Like, what does it mean for them? For me, it's quite closely tied to what I believe in. And it's a way that I enact my values in my life. So let's talk about eating more plants and ask your friends why they are still vegetarian or still vegan. Because it's a daily practice rather than, at least for me, it's a decision you make every day.
How is it tied to your values?
For me, it's very linked to animals and it's linked to the environment. I feel that for me, it sparks interesting conversations with people. Yeah.
I love it. I mean, I had a really good vegan meal the other night, and I was
Did
like, wow, I'm really
you?
into this.
Well,
I'll be giving up the chicken nuggets this year. Watch this space.
there's really good vegan food out there. There's
There
a lot
is.
of it. Yeah.
I mean, babe, I could talk to you all day. And the good news is you're going to be joining us in the group chat episode this week. So make sure you check it out. Babes, it's been the best chatting to you.
Thank you
for
so
coming
much. Thanks for
in.
having me.
Thank you so much for joining me for this great chat. Make sure you check out Josh Smith's Great Chat Show across all podcast platforms and on YouTube as well.